Hi all. Today we will be discussing about thin film interference. Actually, we were discussing about this during the last two classes, and thin film interference is actually interference due to division of amplitude. That is, here interference is happening due to the partial reflection or partial refraction between two rays coming from the upper and lower surfaces of a thin film. So here it occurs as waves travel through a different media. Actually here waves are light beam is undergoing two types of media, one from the air and other from the material of that thin film. So this will happen only if the thickness of the material is comparable to the wavelength of the visible light. The colors we see when sunlight illuminates a soap bubble or an oil patch are caused by actually this interference of light waves reflected from the upper and lower surfaces of the thin transparent film or thin transparent soap film or oil film. Thickness of the soap film or oil film is typically of the order of magnitude of wavelength of the visible light. Greater thickness actually spoils the coherence of the light needed to produce the color. So there should be a minimum thickness for the air bubble or soap bubble or oil patch so that the thin film interference pattern has to be occur. So there are two ways that which light beams are falling on this layer of soap bubble. First one, light beams can fall perpendicular to the surface of the soap bubble. That is, we can make it perpendicular by letting the light falling on a particular mirror or glass plate, and from there it will reach the upper surface of the film at 90 degree or at right angles to the upper surface. So from there it will be reflected towards the same path, and some part of it will be transmitted or refracted through the film, and from the lower surface it will be again reflected back, and then it will transmitted through the upper surface. Thus the two rays which is originating from the single beam of light will be the cause for the interference pattern observed in here. So what are the factors which affects the path difference between two waves? Actually we know the second path where the beam of light which is reflecting which is transmitting from the upper surface to the lower surface and from there towards the upper surface, actually that beam undergoes twice the thickness of the film before it is reflecting from the upper surface. Therefore we can consider that the path difference between the two beams will be proportional to 2 into t or t plus t. So due to then material of the prism is having the refractive index mu, and therefore path difference also depend on that material of the prism. So the effective path difference will be 2 mu t. But the upper beam or the wave which is reflecting from the upper surface is actually traversing from a denser medium to a rarer medium, or the wave or from a higher refractive index material to a lower refractive index. So there that beam undergoes a phase change of pi or a path difference of lambda by 2. So therefore the effective path difference is 2 mu t minus lambda by 2. Then we have to apply the conditions for brightness and darkness. What is the condition for an interference pattern to be bright? Delta equal to n lambda, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Then applying that condition we could get 2 mu t minus lambda by 2 equal to n lambda. Thus 2 mu t equal to n plus half lambda. Then what is the condition for film to appear darker? that is delta equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2 if n equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. Then 2nt minus lambda by 2 equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. Thus 2nt is equal to n lambda. Then we have to move to the second case, that where the light beams are actually falling on the upper surface of the film obliquely, or by making an angle with the normal of the perpendicular axis. Then there will be that incident beam will be keeping an angle of I while incident on the upper surface. From there it will be reflected back to the same medium along BC, and some part of it will be refracted through the material or through the thin film through the path BD, and then it will be again reflected back and from through the path DE, and from the upper surface it will be again transmitted out. Thus there are two beams of BC and EF traveled a much more distance than BC. So we have to calculate the extra distance traversed by the path EF. Actually BC and EF, that these two rays are participating in the interference procedures, or these two beams are undergoing interference, so that we could get an interference pattern. So what is the path difference between those two beams? Actually EF traversed an extra distance BD plus DE, which is through the medium having refractive index mu, and while drawing a normal from the ray BC towards the point E, we could see that an additional small path of BP is extra in the beam BC. So that beam or that path should be subtracted from the actual path difference of the two beams. So path BD plus DE into mu minus BP into 1. So we have to calculate the values of BD and DE, and then we have to calculate the value of BP. Then for this we have to extend that line, that DE line, towards a point called point H, where the line BG, the extension of that normal from the lower surface, meets that point H. Therefore we can see that the triangles BGD and GHD are congruent triangles, or their sides are equal and their angles are equal. That is BD is equal to DH and BG is equal to GH, BD is equal to DH and BG is equal to GH, and their angles are also similar. Therefore we can substitute for BD as DH. Delta is equal to DH plus DE into mu minus BP. Then that DH is substituted as we can see that an additional point called Q, where we are drawing a normal from the line DE towards the point B, and that normal is drawn from the point Q. Therefore that DH can be written as HQ minus DQ, and DE can be written as DQ plus QE. Thus the resultant value is HQ plus QE into mu minus BP. Thus then we have to calculate the value of PP. But how we are doing this? This value is computed using the optical law, Snell's law. You might have already studied about it. BP is calculated from the Snell's law, and Snell's law is nothing but refractive index equal to sin I by sin R. So the sin I is calculated from the triangle BPE. You can see the triangle there, and triangle BPE, and that BEP angle is I, because angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So when that angle is I, we can see that PBE angle is 90 minus I, and therefore that PEB angle is I. Therefore from that triangle we can say that sin I is equal to opposite by hypotenuse BP by BI. Then sin R is calculated from the triangle BQE, and that angle QBE angle is equal to R, similar to that earlier said procedure. Therefore QBR is equal to R, therefore sin R is equal to QE by BE, opposite by hypotenuse. Therefore mu is equal to sin A by sin R, which is equal to BP by QE. Therefore we got the expression for BP as mu QE. Substituting in that expression for path difference, delta is equal to HQ plus QE into mu minus mu QE. That mu QE can be cancelled out, then the resultant value is mu HQ. Now we have to calculate the value for HQ. For that we have to consider the triangle BQH. You can see the triangle there, BQH. So to consider while considering this triangle, we are taking that BHQ angle as R, because we have already said that BGD and GHD triangles are congruent. That BHD value is actually R. Therefore cos R is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse, that is HQ by BH. So HQ is equal to BH into cos R. We can see from here that BH is actually the double value of thickness. That means BH is BG plus GH, and BG is equal to GH. Therefore that BH becomes T plus T, that is 2T. Thus HQ becomes 2T cos R. Thus delta is equal to 2 mu T cos R. But here the path of that BC or BC ray is actually traversing from a denser medium towards a rarer medium. Therefore here we have to calculate this ray we have to consider this ray's additional phase change, because any beam which is traveling from a denser to rarer medium will undergo a phase change which corresponds to a path difference of lambda by 2. Therefore this additional path difference is neglected. It should be neglected from that delta value, net delta value. Therefore delta is equal to 2 mu T cos R minus lambda by 2. Actually this is the path difference calculation of the beams originating from the, or beams reflected from the lower and upper surfaces of the thin film. Now we have to substitute for the conditions of brightness and darkness. What is the condition for brightness? Yes, delta is equal to 2n lambda by 2, or even multiple of lambda by 2. Thus 2 mu T cos R minus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. That is 2 mu T cos R is equal to n plus half lambda. Next, what is the condition for darkness? 2 mu T cos R minus lambda by 2 equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, where n equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Therefore 2 mu T cos R is equal to n lambda. This is the conditions for darkness and brightness in the case of reflected system. So here we can see that whenever a film is viewed by a monochromatic light, that is same wavelength light, by reflection of this monochromatic light, different parts of the thin film will appear brighter or darker depending upon the conditions of darkness and brightness. The derived conditions, that is, it will be bright. The condition is that part of the film which undergoes a constructive interference, or which satisfies the condition for brightness. Then the condition is 2 mu T cos R is equal to n plus half lambda, and if it satisfies the condition for destructive interference, then 2 mu T cos R is equal to n lambda. This net path difference 2 mu T cos R from the reflected rays of upper and lower surfaces is known as actually the cosine law. Now we have to consider the same situation in the case of a transmitted system also, because we can view a film or soft bulb or oil film in the transmitted system also. Then what is the case there? There is a small difference between this transmitted system and reflected system. So we have to derive the expression for path difference in this case also. So we can see that transmitted system, an ray AB is incident on the thin film with an angle of incidence I, and from there it is reflected and then it is transmitted through the path BD, and after reaching the point D it will be reflected through the path DE, and from there it will be again reflected through the path EF, and from there it is transmitted out. Similarly, from the point D, the beam will undergo a refraction and again transmitted out. Then, thus we obtain DH and FG beams, which is going to interfere. So in transmitted system, the path difference between FG and depending upon the path difference of FG and DH, we could get the interference pattern. So we have to calculate the path difference between FG and DH. So FG beam actually undergone an additional path of DE plus EF through the thin film material, DE plus EF, and DH beam is having a small path difference of dP in the medium air. So the net path difference delta is equal to mu into dE plus EF minus dP in air. This is similar case that we do in the reflected system also. So here we have to calculate the value of dE, EF and dP. First we can calculate the value of dP. For this we have to consider Snell's law, that is mu is equal to sin A by sin R, and I for measuring the value of sin I, we consider the triangle DPF, and that DFP angle is I, because the angle of incidence is itself that emerging transmitted angle itself. If there is no much deviations in the path, then this refracted beam is also that I, and therefore DFP is equal to I. Then sin I is equal to opposite by hypotenuse dP by dF, and sin R. For this we are considering the triangle DQF, and from there dr is equal to qf by df, and thus mu is equal to dp by qf. Thus dp is equal to mu qf. Now we have to calculate the values of d and ef. Then we will substitute this in these equations. So we have calculated the value of dp. Then we have to calculate the value of DE and EF. For this we have to extend this line, this EF line towards the point called N, where this extension from D, extension that normal from this D meets point N. Therefore that ONE and DOE triangles are congruent, so that OD is equal to ON and NE is equal to ED. Similarly, that angles also are equal. ONE is equal to R because this ODE is equal to R. Thus, we can rewrite this path difference as DE can be written as NE plus EF mu, and DP is mu QF, and NE plus EF is actually NF. NE plus EF is actually NF, and mu NF minus mu QF is equal to mu into NF minus QF, and NF minus QF is nothing but NQ. We can see that from this figure. NF minus QF is equal to NQ. That NQ has to be calculated from this Cosar expression from the triangle NQD. Consider the triangle NQD, where angle DNQ is equal to R and Cosr is equal to NQ minus NQ divided by DN, adjacent by hypotenuse. cos NQ by dN. Therefore, NQ is equal to dN into cos R, and this dN is actually twice dN is twice the value of the thickness of the thin film, because OD is equal to thickness, and the same value is extended towards ON. Actually, DN is equal to ON plus OD plus ON, and this equal to 2T. DN is equal to 2T, and 2T cos R. NQ is equal to 2T cos R. Therefore, the path difference delta can be equated as 2 mu T cos R. Here, the additional path difference of lambda by 2 as the case of reflected system is not occurring here, because both the rays are traveling from the same medium and they both have undergone traveled from denser to rarer medium. So here that will be neglected. Both rays will be traveling from or both rays have undergone the phase change in similar way, so they will that will be neglected. Therefore, the additional path difference term is not there, so we can substitute the condition for brightness and darkness. That brightness condition is 2 mu T cos R is equal to n lambda, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. And darkness condition is 2 mu T cos R equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, and is equal to n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Therefore, in transmitters, the difference between the darkness and brightness condition in reflected and transmitted system is that in reflected system, brightness condition is 2 mu T cos R equal to n plus half lambda, and in transmitter system, the brightness condition is 2 mu T cos R equal to n lambda, and in darkness condition in reflected system is 2 mu T cos R equal to 2 mu T cos R is equal to m lambda, and in transmitter system the darkness condition is 2 mu T cos R equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, and this is the difference between darkness and brightness condition. So whenever a film is viewed by a monochromatic light, that means light with a single wavelength, whenever a thin film is viewed by a monochromatic light, by reflection of that monochromatic light, different parts of the film appears dark and bright according to the condition 2 T cos R equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, and 2 mu T cos R is equal to m lambda. This as per these conditions, the film appear different parts of the film appears bright and dark. So what is happening when the film is viewed by white light? White light is actually light with the 7 colors. White light is actually light with the 7 colors, and at any point of the film, this condition becomes value of n, t and r may be such that value of n, t and r will be such that 2 T cos R equal to m lambda for a particular color, and this if that particular color satisfies the condition for constructive interference, then that color will appear in that portion and all other colors will be depressed. That means in reflected light, due to destructive interference, colors will be suppressed, and all the colors in the case of destructive interference, that color will be if for a particular color that color satisfies the condition for destructive interference, that color will be depressed and all other colors will be issued from that particular point. If at a particular point if if a particular color satisfies the condition for constructive interference, that color will appear and all other colors will be suppressed. And we can see a brilliantly colored spectrum in the case of a thin film viewed by a white light. That's why that's the reason for bright colors in the surface of soft film or oil patches in the rod, etc. So similar effects can be observed at other points of the film also. So all the points at different points will appear differently colored as we see in the soft film. So in the similar way, in the transmitted case also the same things will appear. So we have to understand a particular point that conditions for brightness and darkness of maxima and minima in reflected and transmitted system are opposite to each other. With the white light, colors visible in the reflected light will be complementary to the colors visible in the transmitted light. ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റഡ് ലൈറ്റ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ കാണുന്ന സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് കളേഴ്സ് ആയിരിക്കില്ല റിഫ്ലക്റ്റഡ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ കാണുന്നത്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു സോപ്പ് ബബിളിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് കളേഴ്സ് ആയിരിക്കില്ല അതിൻ്റെ താഴെ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ബിക്കോസ് മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് വ്യൂ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ദാറ്റ് സോപ്പ് ബബിൾ വിൽ ബി ഇൻ ദ റിഫ്ലക്റ്റഡ് സിസ്റ്റം. താഴെ നിന്ന് വ്യൂ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ദ സോപ്പ് ബബിൾ വിൽ ബി ഇൻ ദ ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റഡ് സിസ്റ്റം. Therefore we have to understand that two differences between these two. With the white light, colors visible in the reflected system will be complementary to the colors appearing in the transmitted system. So study these two systems of thin film and reference well and try to derive yourself and come to these particular conditions for darkness and brightness. Then we have to move on to some problems relating these two conditions. Now we can stop. Okay, thank you.